pirates they demanded for tribute. In 1803, Britain and France went to war. As long as the U.S. remained neutral, shippers could continue business with Britain and France. These were the shippers. For 2 years, the shipping continued. By 1805, the nations lost patience with America's neutrality. Britain blockaded French coast and threatened to search ships trading with France. France later said they would search and seize Americans trading with Britain. These were the War Hawks. They pressured the president to declare war on Britain. Clay and Calhoun were the leaders of the group.
Since British was in desperate need of sailors, they used force to get them. The Navy patrols stopped American ships and searched for sailors suspected of being deserters from the British Navy. Enforcing people to be in the Navy was called impressment.
It first started with Battle of Detroit. The War of 1812 started when General Hull led the American Army to Canada. Tecumseh and his warriors met Hull. Hull surrendered Detroit to a British force in August after the Native Americans fought them. Then came the Battle of Thames. After America got Lake Erie, British and Native American allies tried to pull back from the Detroit area. During the Battle of Thames, Tecumseh was killed. After that, the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. Andrew Jackson attacked the Creeks and slaughtered more than 550 people. The Creeks were forced to give up most of their land to the United States. After the Battle of Horseshoe Bend came the attack on D.C. August 1814, British ships sailed into Chesapeake Bay. British troops overpowered the American militia and went into the city. They burned and destroyed everything. President Madison saw the sky turn orange and a thunderstorm put out fires before more damage occurred. Then there came the attack on Baltimore. After Britain burned D.C., they left and sailed north to Baltimore. Baltimore barricaded roads and blocked the harbor. The British were attacked but were kept from entering the town, and they bombed Fort McHenry. After Francis Scott Key watched the bombing of Fort Henry, he wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1931, Congress made it the national anthem. After the attack on Baltimore came the Battle of Lake Champlain. General Sir George Prevost led British troops into New York from Canada. Their goal was to capture Plattsburgh, a city on the shore of Lake Champlain. The invasion was stopped because an American naval force defeated the British fleet. After the Battle of Lake Champlain came the Battle of New Orleans. 1814, the British Army moved into New Orleans. On January 8, 1815, the British moved forward. Hundreds of British soldiers were killed by Jackson's soldiers. Andrew Jackson became a hero, and his fame helped him win presidency in 1828.
The Treaty of Ghent did not change any existing borders. It had nothing to do with impressment, but neutral rights had become a dead issue. Gathered in Connecticut at the Hartford Convention. There they drew up a list of proposed amendments to the Constitution. After the convention broke out, word came of Jackson's spectacular victory at New Orleans, followed by the news of the peace treaty. The Federalist grievances seemed unpatriotic. The party lost respect in the eyes of the public. Most Americans felt proud and self-confident at the end of the War of 1812.
The nation had gained new respect from other nations, and the Americans felt a sense of patriotism and a strong national identity. The national government was carried on by the War Hawks. They favored trade, Western expansion, the development of the economy, and a strong army and navy.